Hi everyone, I hope you guys are doing well with all of these energy shifts that are happening. I know that I've had to take extra care of myself the last couple of weeks for sure, and even yesterday really had to go brain dead for a whole day basically just so I could clear out energy. There's a lot of projections that are happening. So if you feel like people are projecting onto you, there might be a reason, there might be a trigger that you have that you need to heal. So be very ultra aware of that. A couple of business things. The first thing I want to say is I've been noticing that when I send out emails to schedule readings, and this has happened more than once, either people aren't receiving my emails or they're getting lost. I'm not getting responses back, or people are saying, I haven't heard from you, yada, yada. Please check your junk mail, your spam, especially if it's Hotmail or Yahoo. For some reason, I go directly to junk mail. So make sure you're checking your junk email box. And that way we can connect, because I have had several people that I haven't either heard back from, or they email me and they're like, please contact me. I haven't heard from you, but I've emailed several times and even replied to emails, and it still isn't getting to you. So please check your junk mail. What else? Oh, so I will be in New York this Friday for the workshop. We're going to be working on kind of stepping into your authentic self, learning how to meditate and listen to your higher self, trust your higher self, believe in the path that you're on. We'll talk about a whole range of things on how to live your most authentic life, and also in relationships and stuff like that. I will be answering a lot of questions, so I really hope you guys can join me in New York this Friday, and then next Friday I'll be in Boston. There are 4 spots left in New York for the in-person readings, and I still have like 6 or 7 spots open in Boston for in-person readings for the weekend that I'll be there. Those are all on my website, fearlessintuition.net. If you're interested in doing the workshops and you want to save $10, because it'll be $10 more at the door the night of, go check out the Eventbrite links below, in the description box below this video, and you can pre-register for the workshops and save $10. I will be in Austin, Texas on the 17th of August. I do not have the in-person readings up yet for that weekend. I'll be there, but you can buy the tickets. That link is below. And Atlanta is August 24th. I haven't decided if I'm coming to Atlanta yet. That may end up getting changed. The date may end up changing for that. I'm still trying to decide, on that. So, for right now, I'm scheduled to be in Atlanta on August 24th. So, anything else? If you want a personal reading, I did open up some more Soulmate readings available on my website, and I do have a limited amount of email readings. I have offered those in the past, and so there's a small amount. I don't do a lot of email readings all at once, because it will take me 10 to 14 days to make sure I get all of them out. There's only a limited number. So if you want a really quick 1-question email reading, go to my website, fearlessintuition.net, and you can get that. And you can always get me on the InstantGo app as well. So, yeah. I want to see how everybody's doing, all of the divine feminines this week in the collective. I know that energy is very up and down and back and forth right now. I don't even really want to talk about much that's going on in the sky. We know that everything is retrograde. Mercury will be going retrograde. Not everything is retrograde, but the big stuff is Saturn, Pluto, Mars. Mercury will be retrograde on the 26th of July, which is next week. So we're in the pre-shadow period of that right now. If you're feeling these shifts really strongly and you're feeling tired or just not really yourself, like fuzzy up in the head, if you're having physical ailments, stuff like that, just know that this is all a part of an ascension that we're all going through. We have to go through these energy shifts to evolve. A lot of people are like, I don't understand why I have to feel so crappy during this time. Well, It's really your body saying it's time to rest. Like, take some extra time out for yourself. Make sure you're drinking a lot of water. That was one of the big things that I have to remember to do. I drink a lot of tea and water now. I wasn't doing that very well. But taking care of yourself is a really, really big thing right now. So make sure you're doing that. Listen to what your body is telling you to do. And thank you to everyone who has been very patient with me with personal readings while I listen to my body needing to rest. So I will be fully caught up with readings tomorrow. Before I go to New York, I will be fully caught up with readings. So if you're waiting for a personal reading from me, so I think what we're going to do is check on the Divine Feminine energy, see where we are this week for July 16th, and then let's see what the energy is between the Divine Feminine and the Divine Masculine. Let's just see what we're doing. First, let's talk about healing for Divine Feminine. Let's pick 2 cards. All right. So we have Master, which is number 15, which is the Devil. And we have Confront, which is the Moon. So this to me automatically is saying, are you being honest with yourself about the toxicities in your life, about the obsessions? Are things real? Are you being brutally honest with yourself? Are you looking at yourself in the mirror and saying, I am releasing toxic stuff from my life? Or are you hanging on to something? And it doesn't even have to be a person. It could be a thought, an idea, a way of being. We are being attacked big time by negative thoughts and negative emotions. And it's really, really, really time to be honest with where you are in your life. It is, this is a big shift. There are a lot of people that are waking up right now. We have Judgment. A lot of people are coming into their spiritual awakenings right now. And it's time to see what the universe is trying to call you to do. You know? We can't pretend that this is, you know, I mean, we often get caught up in the whole 3D version of life, right? And when we get caught up in the 3D version of life and we feel like we have to do certain things to survive instead of just being who we are authentically and living, and not just surviving anymore, but actually living, it's time for that. Ace of Cups. It's time for the Divine Feminines to understand that life isn't just about living for a relationship, you know, or living for other people. Divine Feminines, just in general, throughout existence, have always been the caretakers. And I'm not just talking about women. I'm talking about men too, because we are born with the energy. There is an energy that you are born with, or that you incarnate or reincarnate with, whether it's masculine or feminine. And we've talked about this before. If you're curious about my take on the 3D version of Divine Masculine and Divine Feminine, there is a video that I did last month, I believe, talking about that. But it's an energy that you hold. And the Divine Feminine really have been known as the caretakers. And holding space for other people is one of the biggest things that have really held the Divine Feminine back. And it's time to balance all of that out with justice. Because the Divine Masculine, and somebody, actually a client, made a very good point in one of the emails that he sent to me about how the Divine Masculine is really tapping into the feminine powers that they have and being caretakers. and being more emotional and a little bit less logical. And that's one of the really big shifts that are happening. The polarization between your divine masculine and divine feminine is becoming a really big deal. And I do feel that happening right now with a lot of the divine feminine collective and finding out their true worth. But we have to be honest with, and this isn't even just toxicity in your environment. What are you doing that's toxic to yourself? What are you doing that's holding back the universe from handing you this gift? What are you doing to yourself to do that? Are you believing the negative thoughts? Are you believing the projections? Are you believing the negative attacks on you? And I've actually brought up in other readings with other signs about like psychic attacks and stuff. And I personally have to always, always, always protect my energy. Just even recently, I had to protect my energy because something was being projected onto me. Even though I knew better, I actually second-guessed myself because I'm like, and then I realized the narcissist quality of what was coming through, of what this person was doing to me. And I was like, oh, dang. And then like literally had to take an entire day to clear my energy from it. It was not okay. Like, not okay. And it wasn't a client or anything. It was somebody, it was in my personal life. But just being very ultra aware of where you're putting your energy and like, who are you bringing into your space? Who are you allowing into your existence and into your space? Are they good enough? Are they qualified enough? It's a pretty good question to ask. Are they qualified enough? King of Pentacles. So, interesting. So you're seeing the divine masculine as somebody, as a very stable figure in your life. And this could be part of the balancing, the karmic, I want to call it karmic retribution, karmic balancing out of the divine feminine energy, and starting to see their masculine in a different light, more of a stable existence. Yeah, seeing things differently. The Four of Swords. That's so funny. I'm like, I'm surprised the Four of Swords didn't come up. Sometimes I wish I would say things out loud. I just don't. The Four of Swords, if you look at this card, and I've said it so many times before, there are ties on all these swords. So cutting ties with the idea of the way you think things are supposed to go, and meditating and opening yourself up to the possibilities that there's a different way to see this. There's a different way to recognize this. I know there are a lot of twin flame and soulmates that are coming into union. And one of the biggest things that you have to remember is to not let that anxiety that you have about not coming into union or not being ready to be in union, the way that you know the way that you can feel that coming on is that there's a peace about you. You've relaxed. You're not obsessing over it. You're not constantly wondering what the other person is doing, constantly wondering about their journey, constantly trying to dig in to see, like, to tap into their energy. It's just a very relaxed, peaceful feeling, and I do see that happening. There is a sense of actively needing to make the choice to just chill out. Two of Swords right next to the Four of Swords. And know that the masculine's journey is happening. And I think I said that in the masculine reading for this week, that, and I'll say it 100 times if I have to, 1,000,000 times if I have to. Even if you cannot physically see it with the 3D, We are talking about a relationship that is so much bigger than just the 3D. And this includes soulmates too. It's not just with twin flame journey. It's also with any soulmates that come into your life. Soulmates are also a much higher plane of existence than just a 3D karmic relationship. Because you can feel the energy of soulmates too, divine partners, life partners. So let's clarify some of these. Judgment. What is the universe trying to call us to do? What is your journey? What is it that you need to decide for yourself that you need to do? Three of Pentacles. I often, when I see this card, I think, don't just be the student, be the teacher. You know, if you know people or are surrounded, and I know so many people that have started YouTube channels, and I'm so grateful for it. Healers that have started YouTube channels to help the divine feminine step into their power. And again, this isn't just talking about women stepping into their power. It's an energy. So even men being able to step into their power, in their divine feminine power. Be the teacher. Show people what you know or what you're learning. I have never said that I was an expert on anything because I'm constantly learning and I'm constantly evolving. And the way that I help and teach and heal is through my journey as well as yours. So the things that I've been through, I always tell clients I've been through like 10 lifetimes within this one lifetime. I've been through so many lessons and so many hardships in my life. In my very short 39 years of existence, I'm able to relate my stories with you guys. So you teach me as well. I will be doing a reading and I'll say something and be like, wow, I just taught myself something. Just taught myself something right there. And to me, that is a huge blessing. Huge blessing. So, Ace of Wands on the Ace of Cups. Excellent, excellent powers of manifestation this week for the feminine. I feel like a lot of feminines are stepping into their power and they're learning that they're not just the student, but they're the teachers as well. And you're the teachers of your divine partner, whoever that is, whether it be a twin flame or a soulmate or even a karmic that you'll be with. And remember that all are karmic, but I say karmic in a way where who are you learning the most lessons from in your existence? If you're not on a soulmate journey or a twin flame journey, who are you learning the most lessons from in your lifetime? Justice. What is justice for the divine? I feel like there's a lot of balance happening and freedom within that balance. I've also been asked by several people about turning the volume up on my microphone for my camera, and I did. So let me know if it's working or if it's like all staticky or... I just wanted to let you guys know that. So the King of Swords on justice. I'm curious if there are some divine feminines out there that are dealing with legal stuff this week. Oftentimes I see the King of Swords as somebody who's in the government or just somebody who's like kind of higher ranking, either a judge or a lawyer, especially since it's on the Justice card. If you are a divine, and that's one of the big things right now, is like when we're on our spiritual journey, we really have to remember that we still have to follow the rules of life. And we tend to forget that. And I feel like there's a really, because all the planets are in retrograde, if there are things coming back to you that have to do with any kind of legal judgment or anything like that from your past, I feel like things are going to turn out just fine, especially with the Ace of Cups and the Ace of Wands. But I do feel like this is a very big opportunity for you to almost learn a karmic lesson about something from your past that has to do with somebody else who's in charge of things. Let's see. King of Pentacles. And I think this has to do with a lot of what we're talking about here with the toxicity. Oh, wow, that's way too many cards. The toxicity that's here. What is it that's holding you back? What are the toxic things in your life? And it doesn't just have to be spiritually. It doesn't have to be in relationships. It can be in your 3D world. What limitations? These can be limitations. What are you limiting yourself? How are you limiting yourself? Because there's so much prosperity here. The universe wants to give you gifts of abundance and opportunities. But I feel like there's some kind of balance that needs to happen. You're letting an energy, a King of Swords energy, be in control of your situation. And I'm not even sure a lot of you are recognizing that because we have the moon here. It's almost like you guys and I'm saying this generally. As I'm saying this, I'm actually thinking of something that might be limiting me as well. That might be holding me back from furthering my spiritual growth or my business or my life or something personally. So when I say you guys, it's not just you guys, it's me too. So we have the Page of Cups on the King of Pentacles. I know the feeling. You want more. You really, really do. And you don't want to have to beg for it. You want more from your masculine. But you don't want to have to beg for it. You just want it to happen. And that's why I have to say, again, with the Four of Swords, it's coming. But you have to try and rest easy. You have to be okay if there's been some kind of pullback in some way between you and your masculine. Just breathe. Which is really funny because the Four of Swords in this deck is just breathe. That's pretty neat. Just recognized, didn't even realize I was saying that until after I said it. And enjoy yourself. The Three of Cups. Yes, a lot of times this talks about third-party situations. I don't like to directly refer to that, especially when it's, we're talking about like, relationships or about a collective energy, because not everybody is in third-party situations. I feel like it's time for you to rest your mind a little bit and go out and have some fun. Connect with your soul tribe. This is also resting easy and knowing that union is coming. Because the Three of Cups to me is me, my counterpart, and then the third energy when we come together is Source. And we make that third energy, meaning the Three Cups, right? So, this needy feeling is going to block the union from happening. So that's why I'm so adamant about saying you have to rest your mind. You have to rest your mind and rest your heart. And stop thinking about how it's going to happen or when it's going to happen or the neediness of it happening. So, Two of Swords. What is this Two of Swords? Oh, I did forget to mention in the beginning about the soulmate readings by sign that are available also on my website. I did that for July, and it seems to be going, everybody really seems to like it. So I'll probably do it again for August. Hopefully I'll have time to put it up before August starts, but we'll see. So the Two of Swords with the Nine of Cups. So with the Nine of Cups, I've said before, you can have a high vibration or a low vibration with the Nine of Cups. In this case, I feel like saying Like, I need to say, don't be needy about it. Like, don't long and desire and hope and wish and pray. You know, if you're pining for something, it probably isn't going to happen as fast as you want it to. You really have to let go and let the universe kind of take over at this point. My hair's kind of driving me crazy. I'm not entirely sure what it's doing. Okay, and then we have the Wheel of Fortune at the bottom of the deck. So things are happening very karmically. And divine timing is definitely at play. And if you're feeling all of these energies very, very strongly right now, just know that we are ascending to a higher level of existence. And as we work on our shadow side, when I say shadow side, I mean the things that we hold very, very deep within us that we don't let everybody see on a normal day-to-day basis. The things that sometimes we're not so proud of our shadow side. Those things within that we have to dig very deep and be honest with ourselves and pull them out and heal. So let's see what the energy is between the Divine Feminine and the Divine Masculine for this week. I did do the energy between the Divine Masculine and Divine Feminine in that reading. So let's just see, kind of as a collective, how are the Divine Masculine and the Divine Feminine? What do we need to know? What kind of advice do we need about the energy between the Divine Masculine and the Divine Feminine? And I honestly don't remember what the Divine Masculine was. So we have release. And I just totally went blank on what major arcana this is. Totally went blank. I'm sure it'll come to me, like right in the middle of the reading. But, so we're releasing. And I feel like this is opening up your heart chakra between the two of you. And releasing all expectations. Because once you release all expectations, you get that well-deserved reward, which is the Nine of Pentacles. I do feel an energy of pulling back a little bit, letting things be. Just letting things be this week. Let it be the way it's supposed to, you know? I know that the Divine Masculine is going through a rough time of, I feel like there's a lot of fighting that's happening in their environment. There's a lot of regrets they have about choices they've made in the past. But the energy between the two, Seven of Swords, really needing to just leave things be. Let things be the way that they are. Let the universe take it over. You don't have to work so incredibly hard all the time to make things be what you want them to be, right? So we have the Six of Pentacles and the Five of Pentacles. And the Page of Wands. Going a new direction. And the reason why you want to go in a new direction is when I get the Six of Pentacles, I always say, where are you putting your energy? Where are you placing your energy? Are you giving it to places that deserve it? Are you allowing yourself to keep some of that energy? Because I do feel a sense of lack on one end here with the Five of Pentacles. And so I feel like it's time to look in a different direction, go a different direction, switch things up a little bit. And if that means, like, I actually want to say, let bygones be bygones. And the Ace of Swords. There's a need to go in a direction of your truth and knowing your truth. And being honest, very, very honest about that. Being very open about it. Four of Pentacles. And it also kind of seems like both the energy is just working really hard to get ahead. I feel like there's a need to work really hard to get ahead. So, 7 of Swords. Whoa. 7 of Cups. I feel like somebody's trying to make a decision on whether to keep trying or to walk away. 6 of Pentacles. It's like because they've given so much of themselves, they feel depleted. I feel like someone, it kind of seems like a very specific message for a particular person. Someone's trying to decide, yeah, because they've given a lot to this relationship or to this energy. The Lovers on the 6 of Pentacles. It's like I give energetically, but not feeling like you're getting anything back in return with the 5 of Pentacles. There's a sense of lack there. 5 of Pentacles. So being very honest with yourself. And that's the thing, is I think a lot of this is, it's not that you have to walk away completely, because you don't have to walk away completely, but you do have to start focusing on yourself, you know? Yeah, because you're like fighting for something that's not giving back to you in return. 9 of Wands. And this is the energy between the two of you. So if you both feel like you're constantly fighting and nothing is coming back, this feeling of lack is not going to bring union. So that's what the advice is over here, is to release that. Release this feeling of lack. Release this confusion of, why do we keep on trying? Like, what's the point? You know? So needing to look at things in a different way. Page of Wands. Needing to go in a different direction. Something that's a little bit more passionate. There needs to be a spark made between the energy of the Divine Feminine and the Divine Masculine. It's almost as if I feel like somebody's giving up. And I've said this to so many people before. If you have to pull back because you're tired and you need to have a rest and you need reprieve and you need to focus on yourself, it's okay to do that. Releasing everything to the universe to take care of will help your abundance. It will help your growth, if you will. Whoa. 10 of Wands and the Queen of Pentacles. So, a very, very tired Divine Feminine needing to go in a new direction and possibly communicating her truth about that. Because, yeah, 5 of Swords. Because the deception, and that's the thing I want to say, is make sure that you do know your truth and you're not listening to the negatives that are being thrown at you. Because we will get attacked by negative energy and negative thought processes and not feeling worthy enough or good enough for the Divine Masculine. So recognizing that you don't have to give all of your energy to one relationship, to one place, to the twin flame journey, to your soulmate journey. You don't have to give all of your energy to that, because you will want to give up when you're exhausted and you're done fighting and you're like, I'm over this. I can't do it anymore. You will become very, very exhausted. So it's time to believe in yourself and not listen to the negatives anymore. You can keep fighting, but fight for yourself first. That's really what all of this is about. You have to release that energy, that negative energy of constantly having to fight for something that you feel like is lacking in some way. Four of Pentacles. Ten of Swords. So, it's almost as if people, or it's almost as if the energy between the Divine Masculine and the Divine Feminine is saying, if you don't hold on to this for dear life, it's going to be totally devastating and it will end. But I want to say that if you hold on too tightly to it and you don't allow the universe to bring the gifts in and to bring the healing to you and to allow you to release things, it will be devastating. Because it'll be so much harder for you to be on your journey if you hold on too tight. Yeah? All right, my dears. Go check out my website for all of the personal reading information you need. All of the soulmate readings are available there. The email readings are out. You can get the soulmate by sign readings and schedule a reading with me. And again, if you have not received an email back from me, please, please, please check your junk mail or spam. I don't want anybody getting upset with me because they didn't get an email, but they really did get an email. So make sure you're checking all of your email boxes before you get really angry with me. I hope you're all doing really well. And come see me in New York and Boston. I will be in the Northeast for the next week and a half. So, love you guys. Bye.